another thrift find. I found this set of 4 Wilton stackable pans, very thin, to make layer cake. So this is what we're going to use to make Mom's birthday cake, because it's small. It's about 6 inches in diameter. Only a couple of us that are coming together to celebrate her birthday, so I thought this would be a perfect cake size. So let's get started. I'm going to make a mini chocolate cake for my mom's birthday. I got my idea for this recipe from the Wilton website, from their petite chocolate cake. So let's get started. Starting with 4 ounces or 113 grams of bittersweet or dark chocolate. I have 70% Valrhona here. You can use whatever chocolate you want. And then I also have a stick of butter, and I'm going to melt these 2 together. While we wait for those to melt, we are going to whisk together some flour, baking soda, salt, and cocoa powder. Okay, so I have my cocoa powder already in the bowl, 21 grams or 1/4 cup. And then we have 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, or 150 grams. And we're gonna whisk that together with 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And this is just table salt. If you're using kosher salt, you'll need a bit more. Okay, and then there's one more thing I want to whisk in here, and that is a bit of espresso powder. Okay, we're just gonna go with a pinch of this. That brings out the chocolatey flavor. Okay, so we're gonna whisk all of this together. How's that looking? All right, so we're gonna set this aside, and then we're gonna go back to our chocolate and butter mixture. Okay, this is nice and melted, smooth, no lumps. You want to do this slowly because you don't want to burn your chocolate, so I just did it in 30-second intervals and stirred in between. But you definitely want to keep an eye on this, because chocolate does burn, and then all your good chocolate is for nothing. All right, so we're going to add to this our sugar. Okay, I have 200 grams or about 1 cup of sugar here. We're going to mix this together. Okay, you can use an electric mixer for this if you like. I'm gonna go hand mix today. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see how I feel about this. Maybe we will go with the hand mixer. Okay. Alright, next we're going to add in our eggs. And I am going to switch to the hand mixer for this. Take that out. Mom's favorite cake is chocolate on chocolate, so that's what I'm going for here. I'll be frosting this with the chocolate buttercream. Do them one at a time, just to make sure they get incorporated. All of my ingredients are at room temperature. That just makes everything come together better. Oops. I never measure my vanilla. I just add it. Hey, since you're still here, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Thanks. It really helps me out. Don't forget to stop and scrape. Alright. We're going to add some sour cream. That is 227 grams or 8 ounces. You can measure it out from a large container, it's 1 cup. We're gonna add it alternately with our flour mixture from earlier with the cocoa. To start with the dry and end with the dry. We're gonna add this in stages. And guys, I apologize for the air conditioner, but it's over 100 degrees here, so the joys of baking in July, you gotta have that air conditioner on. All right, so I'm gonna start little at a time. You're gonna do 1/3 of this, and you don't want it to fly everywhere, so I just kind of stir it in a little bit before I get the motor started. Start slow. Alright, and then we're going to add half of our sour cream and scrape down the sides. Alright, my oven is heated to 375 or 180 degrees Celsius. Oh, scrape down the sides. Come on, Kay. You know, I said that we could do this by hand, but this batter's getting really thick, so I'm glad I switched to electric. All right, another 1/3 of our dry here. Same thing. Don't want flour to fly in my face. You always add the flour last because you don't want a tough cake, right? Get down off in there. Alright, we'll add the rest of this here sour cream. And y'all, this said it made 2 6-inch cakes. I think I'm gonna have more batter than cake pans. I might have to make some littles here because I don't know. Trust the system, I guess. That looks pretty good. All right, we're at the end here. Our last bit of flour mixture. Scrape everybody down again. All that good stuff. All right. Again. So kind of incorporate this so it doesn't fly in our face. Alright, there you go. Who wants to lick the beater? Just make sure everybody's incorporated here. Still have some dry on the sides, so I'm just gonna fold it a couple of times to make sure everything's in there, and then we're going to put this in the pans. Alright, I'm using this mini layer cake set, and I've greased and floured the pans and also added a square parchment just for some, you know, assurance. They wouldn't fit on the half sheet tray because of this flat, so I added my cooling rack in there and can go in the oven, and that way I can put all 4 of these on the same tray. That's not necessary, but I like to pull things out all at once. So that's just my little hack for that. Because this batter's thick, I'm using a disher. And it doesn't really matter what size, but I want all of these layers to be even. So I'm gonna put exactly the same amount in each one. So you want your pan to be about 2/3 full. So thinking this is not enough 1 scoop, but we're gonna see. And it's not, so I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 in each one. Boom. This might surprise me. Not exactly enough. I thought it was too much. These are little 6-inch cake pans, and you could use a regular depth one, but I wanted to fill this with a dark chocolate ganache. So yeah, so this looks good. So I used about 2 scoops, but you just want to make sure you get to all the corners there. Corners, it's round. You want to get to the edge and then give it a couple of whacks to get the air bubbles out. And we'll do the next one. If you want it to be extra cautious, OCD, whatever you want to call it, to make sure these are even, you can weigh them. It's ideal if you know the weight of your pans first. They might vary a little bit, but I know mine are not even, so I'm adding a little bit more batter to each one to get it to that stage. And, you know, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. It's just an extra step. Measuring out by volume should suffice. And yeah, 2/3 of the way full. This is a very shallow pan, so 2/3 of the way is almost to the top. If your parchment is separated from the pan like this, I don't know if you can see that, but you want to make sure and push that back with your spatula, or you're gonna have a weird hole in your cake. So make sure those are flush. In a larger cake, it probably wouldn't make that much difference, but these are small. So there was actually enough batter to make a whole nother layer, so it's probably better if you just stick to the regular 6-inch pans like this. It said it made 2 6-inchers. So I guess the little ones just aren't quite deep enough. So we are going to put this in the oven. I've changed it to 325 and a little bit lower, and we'll see how it comes out in about 25. So here we are on the oven. Just gotta ice it. Wait for it to cool. All right, the layers are baked, and now I'm just going to fill them with chocolate ganache. Ganache is just melted chocolate and cream. So I used equal parts to get a really thick one. You can put more cream if you need it more spreadable. Just heat up your cream, add the chocolate, and wait for it to melt, and you get a ganache. I like to decorate with the bottom of the cake on the top. Just helps control those crumbs. No, when I first started with cakes, I used the lazy Susan. It works. There. this is gonna turn out pretty well, I think. I forgot to show you under my cake. I always keep a piece of this like shelf liner, grapey mat, so it won't go sliding around. And here we go. And we are ready for our buttercream. Make sure he's centered, kind of. Oh, it's pretty well centered. So if this is moving too much, you can put it in the refrigerator or the freezer for a couple of minutes until that buttercream solidifies. I'm sorry, the ganache solidifies. I've made a batch of Claire Saffit's Silkiest Buttercream. I'll give you a link to that, but here it is. It's a chocolate buttercream. That's what we're putting on top of the cake. So I always start with the buttercream on the top and then do the sides like this. Take your time and do a back and forth motion with your spatula so you don't tear your cake. And if you want it smooth, just go around like this. Maybe not against the side of the cake like I'm doing, and you won't get those hesitation marks. Okay? You decide how you want it to look. Candles go here. I hope you enjoyed making this cake with me. Please like and subscribe, and check out this other video where I bake. Have a great day. Au revoir. Goodbye. Bon appetit.